Good morning. Thank you for being with us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Meteorologist Tracy Bean is here breaking down your Wednesday forecast. We'll see Ashley King in just a little bit with an update on your traffic. But Tracy, a little bit of rain this morning at about 3:45 on the way in, but clearing out now, much better.
Yeah, we hopefully have all of that out of here for the commute this morning. So far, things are looking good, but we are watching some areas off to our south where we're still seeing some heavy rain. But here in central Arkansas, we're seeing a nice little sunrise here, a little break in the clouds. But if you are, again, off to the west and south, probably dealing with a little bit of rain this morning. We're at 73 in central Arkansas with those calm winds and that humidity right around 90%. So dew point at 70, so you know it feels a little muggy out there. We are looking for a high today right around 85, and 80s are going to be pretty much what we're going to see today, but we will see some storm development later, and that's going to, of course, keep things just a bit cooler here off to the west. And we're still watching, again, southern Arkansas as we've got some areas, some flash flood warnings going on. But as we're looking at temperatures, 90 is where we're normally at for this time of year, but we're going to soar well past that and keep those upper 90s as we're heading into next week. But this boundary right here is just keeping all that rain. All that rain's just riding along that, and it's just stationary as can be and not moving. However, it's going to start to make its way a little bit more north as it's going to transition more to a warm front. But again, we do have these two flash flood warnings down to the southern portion of the state where we are seeing just a ton of rain. Some of those areas just right outside of the border here of Arkansas and Texas have gotten around 11 to 12 inches of rain over the last 24 to 48 hours. So if you're traveling that area, make sure you're staying very safe, of course, especially with those roads you're not familiar with. But we'll talk more about this week's forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Developing this morning, a Fayetteville man convicted of killing his ex-girlfriend will spend the rest of his life in prison after the jury rejected the death penalty.
The decision came after jurors found Casey Jennings guilty of capital murder and several other charges in the death of Allison Castro. Prosecutors say Jennings shot Castro with a 12-gauge shotgun and then dismembered her body. They also presented evidence showing he confessed to the killing and led investigators to where he disposed of her remains.
Investigators were only able to recover Castro's severed legs from the White River. During Tuesday's sentencing phase, the defense cited Jennings' abusive childhood and a suicide attempt during his military service as reasons to spare his life.
Castro's family told the court they are relieved the case is over and now want to focus on honoring her memory.
It's hard. This has been really hard. Very traumatizing going through something like this. So yeah, I think it's good to know that we've reached a verdict. We've been through this multiple times, so there's some relief knowing that Casey will be gone in prison forever.
Prosecutors did seek the death penalty as an option for the jury, but the panel of jurors returned the life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Arkansas State Police say a routine traffic stop on Interstate 40 turned into a major drug bust Monday morning. Troopers pulled over a pickup truck in Monroe County around 6 a.m. and found 191-pound bags of marijuana in the bed of the truck. A 17-year-old from Oklahoma City was arrested and later taken to a juvenile detention center as the investigation moves forward.
The North Little Rock Animal Shelter is alerting residents about a new scam that uses its name to try having some audio issues. Officials say scammers create fake documents that impersonate the shelter to make the request look legitimate. THV 11's Tamer Knight spoke with Animal Services about how the scam works and the warning signs you can watch out for.
Animals tend to play on people's heartstrings, and that tends to make it a little bit easier for scammers to take advantage of people that they really shouldn't be taking advantage of.
North Little Rock officials say scammers are contacting pet owners asking for payments or personal financial information, claiming it's for animal licensing.
We're never going to solicit anything over the phone. We're not going to take your debit card information over the phone or anything like that.
Animal Services urges residents to be skeptical of any unexpected requests for money and to verify information directly with city offices.
If you get something like that or you think and you're questioning it, give us a call. Just come down or give us a call and we'll be able to validate the document or tell you whether or not it's real or not.
In North Little Rock, pets must have a city license, which helps verify rabies vaccination and can help officers reunite lost pets with their owners. Officials say legitimate licenses come as a metal tag issued by the city or participating veterinarians, not through online payment requests.
We don't do any of that online at this time.
The department also urges residents to look closely at any documents. Warning signs include misspellings, odd wording, and unprofessional formatting.
Question everything when it comes to things like that because you just never know, and there's nothing wrong with double checking.
Officials say they've only seen one reported case so far, but warn scammers may continue targeting pet owners by preying on their concern for their animals. Tamara Knight, THV 11 News.
To national news this morning, the Trump administration is celebrating a court victory that could expand fast-tracking deportations across the country. A federal appeals court ruled the government can apply expedited removal to undocumented immigrants who can't show they've lived in the U.S. continuously for the past 2 years. Before this ruling, the policy was mostly limited to migrants detained near a U.S. border and within 2 weeks of arriving in the country. The decision allows immigration officials to cast a much wider net when enforcing deportation orders. Now, the court's majority sided with the administration while one judge dissented. A housing affordability bill will now head to the president's desk after clearing both chambers of Congress. The House passing the measure Tuesday, just one day after the Senate approved it, moving the plan one step closer to law. The bill, encouraging more home building, pushes local governments to ease zoning rules and permit restrictions and limits large investors from buying up single-family homes. Lawmakers from both parties backing the plan, and the president says he intends to sign it.
Time now 6:05. The U.S. Senate has approved a resolution that would require President Trump to seek congressional approval before taking any further military action against Iran. The president continues to defend his approach and is still touting a deal with Iran, even as questions remain over the terms. CBS correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more.
On this motion, the yeas are 50, the nays are 48.
The Senate passed the War Powers Resolution Act, blocking further military action in Iran unless President Trump seeks congressional approval.
Iran, unfortunately, is now stronger. And the American people have been forced to pay the price.
It was the 10th time Senate Democrats brought the measure to the floor. This time around, 4 Republicans voted with the Democrats to approve the act the House had already passed. The approval is only symbolic because it doesn't have the force of law.
Americans got worse than nothing from this war. We're worse off than before it started.
At a Mack truck facility in Pennsylvania, President Trump spoke about the agreement with Iran the negotiators are now finalizing.
We just achieved a historic peace agreement with Iran to end the conflict in the Strait of Hormuz. And by the way, yesterday, 19 million barrels of oil flowed out of the Strait of Hormuz, a very beautiful place.
But conflicts remain about who will control the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program, though the president remains confident.
We're leaving them without any nuclear capacity, and they've agreed to that, and we're getting along quite well.
Later today, the president meets with the Secretary General of NATO. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The talks surrounding the war are also continuing overseas, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio in the United Arab Emirates this week to talk about the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, among other matters.
Arkansas workers are helping drive the state's economy forward as new numbers show a strong month in the job market. The Arkansas Department of Commerce reports the unemployment rate fell to 4.2% in May, while both employment and the state's labor force hit record highs. The state also added nearly 3,000 jobs, with gains led by leisure and hospitality, transportation, and construction.
And And now let's go back to check with meteorologist Tracy Bean and the forecast on your Wednesday.
Well, we're still watching that rain that is in far southern Arkansas. We've got some flash flood warnings down again in the extreme southern portion, but I tell you that in case you are traveling in that direction, they've received a lot of rain. Here in central Arkansas, we started early with some rain, but got it out of here quickly. And right now, just looking at partly cloudy skies out there, a little sunshine as well. Now looking at your hour-by-hour forecast for today, I wouldn't rule out a stray storm, but I think most of that will stay off to the west and south of central Arkansas. But look for that high right around 85. And as we're heading into the next couple of days, we're going to see those rain chances start to back off, and it's going to get warm and very dry as we're heading into next week.
And the roads are still looking okay this morning. We don't have anything going on as of now. Of course, still early, 6:08. That summertime drive is so nice. We just don't see a lot of volume in the summer. Right now, we're looking at Interstate 30 across the Arkansas River and looking at our live traffic map, still in green. So we'll get another check coming up in a few minutes.